This is KGW News at 11.
And we begin tonight with a shooting at Rose City Park where at least one person was hit by a bullet. Police say a group of people appeared to shoot at another group in the park. Everyone involved then ran off, and a tennis player was hit in the thigh by a ricocheted bullet. Officers say luckily that bullet had lost enough energy and momentum and did not actually penetrate the skin. They're now investigating and asking people to come forward with any information about this by calling the non-emergency line. Good evening and thank you so much for being here tonight. I'm Galen Edlin. Now our other big push tonight is to learn more about the people who died in last week's historic heat wave. At least 94 people in Oregon have died so far as a result, and at least 10 more died in Clark County, Washington. Art Edwards shares the toll that's taken on people living here.
The record-setting heat wave claimed dozens of lives in Multnomah County between June 27th and July 2nd. The Multnomah County Medical Examiner's Office identified 59 deaths where the suspected cause was hyperthermia, or death by excessive heat. Deaths occurred in nearly every part of the county, with someone succumbing in more than 20 of Multnomah County's zip codes. For all of Oregon in 2017 and 2019, there were just 12 deaths from hyperthermia. Many of those who died were found in homes without fans or air conditioning.
Multi-unit buildings, they do tend to see a little more windows, the age, the lack of central air conditioning. They are all pretty significant factors.
2 deaths occurred at affordable housing complexes managed by Home Forward. Home Forward is the largest provider of affordable housing in Oregon. They confirmed the deaths at Peaceful Villa in southeast Portland and Northwest Towers during the heat wave, but not the cause. There is no central air conditioning at either location. At Northwest Towers, residents recall the heat of last weekend.
My building was very bad because the annex where you would think that because the children live there, that they have it air conditioned, but they didn't.
Heather Green had air conditioning units in her apartment, so that helped. She also said she knew a fellow resident named Sarah who passed away last weekend.
I was supposed to clean for her apartment, and because that's what I do for people, to help them, and she passed away. She used to live in my building before that. She's lived here longer than me.
A spokesperson from Home Forward emailed a statement to KGW Friday that said, Home Forward planned extensively for this heat event and stayed involved with residents to provide cool spaces and resources for them. If anything went wrong, staff members improvised to make sure people had options. Multnomah County officials say they will continue to gather information about the heat-related deaths so they can better prepare for future events. Art Edwards, KGW News.
Now, at least one of the dozens of deaths reported from last weekend was a migrant farm worker. Sebastian Francisco Perez there recently came to Oregon to provide for his family in Guatemala and to make enough money for his wife to start fertility treatments. He was found dead a week ago after moving irrigation lines at Ernst Nursery and Farms. That's in St. Paul. Today, activists and those who knew Perez gathered to remember his life. They say the state now needs to make changes to prevent more deaths like this from happening again.
They're sad and we're devastated. We can't do anything right now to bring him back, but what we can do is to keep fighting, have OSHA change all new rules, their laws, take them into place now. We needed them yesterday.
Oregon OSHA is working with the Oregon Health Authority to draft workplace rules to prevent heat illnesses and combat the changing climate. The pandemic delayed those efforts, but a formal proposal is expected later this summer. And despite strong winds and dry conditions across Oregon, firefighters are making some progress against multiple wildfires across the state. The Rattlesnake Fire in Wasco County has burnt close to 5,500 acres, but it is now 65% contained. That's up from just 30% earlier today. Level 2 evacuation levels at the Trout Creek Campground and Boat Ramp are also now lifted. South Junction Road and Campground, though, are closed for now. Fire crews are also taking on the Sunset Fire near the Dalles. So far, it has burned 987 acres, but crews held it back from growing yesterday despite that heat and dry winds. The fire damaged a barn, several outbuildings, some vehicles, and part of a cherry orchard. It is 42% contained. And Oregon firefighters faced 7 new fires that sparked across the state yesterday. This morning, they headed out to 2 more new ones east of Madras. The largest fire in Central Oregon is the Retham Market Fire near the Dalles. It's now more than 7,000 acres in Wasco County, but it is 78% contained. New here at 11, at least one person is locked up in Gresham accused of setting fire to the city's historical society. The call for the fire came this morning around 10:45. A volunteer says the person stole clothes from the Carnegie Library before causing a multi-car pileup. Crews contained flames to the upstairs offices of the museum and no one was hurt. But most of the damage was caused by sprinklers putting the fire out. The museum is expected to be closed for more than a week, and it's asking for donations to help with cleanup and restoration. For more information, you can head to greshamhistorical.org. A lot of local cities and counties are banning fireworks because of the fire risk. So we checked in with Portland Fire to see how crews will handle enforcement. They say there will not be extra patrols specifically looking for fireworks because of staffing constraints. And the city also does not want you to call in to report illegal shows where you live, not even to the emergency line. They want to make sure staff are available for real emergencies instead of chasing fireworks calls. They say only call 911 if there is an actual fire or medical issue related to fireworks. And please remember what we all went through last year with those deadly wildfires and toxic fumes. It's just not worth it. And if you're not sure if fireworks are banned in your area, Clackamas County's 911 call center has set up a recorded line to help answer questions. They say essentially they don't want to be contacted for this info or for you to report fireworks use. So you can check out the info that's recorded by using the number there on your screen, 503-650-3301.